red kind of on the south side of town. So right there, you know, in a more well-defined tornadic storm, which this is not confirmed, by the way, but this would be, we would call it a couplet. I don't know that I'd necessarily call this a couplet, but we are seeing some signs of rotation there.
And this was kind of expected. You know, all night, all morning, we've been watching those outer rain bands from Debbie work on shore here in the Low Country. You know, we've had several tornado warnings over the last several hours, like almost 12 hours now. And so we were expecting this, you know, as these bands work northward, we were expecting them to start to reach the PD region and then up into Wilmington and closer to the Outer Banks and such, possibly. And so this was not really a surprise,
no.
But it's hopefully no tornado is touching down right now, but you can see that there is some rotation. I'm not seeing anything from the National Weather Service in Wilmington about any reports of anything.
Yeah.
So that's sometimes a good sign.
Right. Yeah, they don't have any more updates. I haven't seen anything come through since the initial warning came through.
But still, I mean, you need to take shelter.
Right. Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right, let's go back to Max 1 if we can. And again, we are looking at where that tornado warning is in effect. So again, we've got Georgetown County right now. So really kind of central Georgetown County up into east central Williamsburg County right now. And again, that continues until 9:45. Again, we're watching that particular storm capable of producing a tornado. It is moving off toward the northwest at 35 miles per hour. All right, I'm going to put the velocity scan back on there, Chairston, kind of like what you were looking at, and we're just going to track that area of velocity. So it's starting to move a little bit further off toward the northwest. So if you don't mind, Chairston, I might have you kind of go down to the street levels in that area.
Absolutely.
So we want to kind of go off toward the northwest of Georgetown, and then once you're ready, we can start reading off some of those names. So we know that main intersection there in Georgetown is going to be Highway 701 and Highway 17, but now we're starting to see that area of rotation again moving off toward the north and west. So when you're ready, we've got some street names.
Yeah, it's starting to move up. I just looked at velocity just before this, and it's starting to get closer to Dunbar, Lanes Creek, Pleasant Grove, Choppy. If you are listening to us right now, you need to get into an interior room away from windows and away from debris that could hurt you. That's where we're looking at. So let me zoom in here. Of course, you've got 51 right there, right? So if, you know, try and pull off, I mean, I'm sure you're probably not listening to this right now. To give you some more roads here, let's look at Dunbar Road, Indian Hut Road. Let's go up a little bit further. Let's do I saw Chasewood Drive, Hesterville Road. So this is out ahead of where that rotation is. So what we're trying to do is tell you to prepare and get to your safe space before it's already on top of you. Johnson Road, let's see, Oatland, of course, you know, you need to be in your safe spot as well. With the Oatland area, that's going to be, let's see, Fuzzy Drive. We've got Oatland Road, Sutton Road, Riverview Street. So definitely want to take shelter now. I'm not sure, let's see, a little bit further back into closer to Ramsey Grove and let's see, Johnson Road I already mentioned. Let's see here, Garrison Road. So definitely want to be in that shelter. Again, this storm is moving northwest. Hold on, let me find it again.
Northwest at 35, I believe.
Yeah, so let's see here. I'm going to pop up velocity on my side. Just
I was going to say I can try to pull it up on my side. I was trying to get perspective from the Wilmington radar because at this point we're actually closer to the Wilmington radar. But let's see here.
Yeah, and I can see it. I'm looking at my phone right now.
I don't think it looks any really different, but it's it's kind of honestly in between both of the radars at this point.
Right, and so I'm on what a lot of us use. It's called radar scope, and so you can see velocity, and I can see where that warning is. And let me just. Oh, I went way too far.
Here, I'm
north.
gonna go.
Smith, so you're in this as well. Hemingway. I mean, you need to be taking shelter right now.
It's getting closer to. It's still south of the Pleasant Hill area, but it's kind of getting closer to that area. So yeah, definitely seeing that rotation there. All right, I'm just seeing. Are you seeing any updates?
No updates yet.
Okay. If we can, okay, we're already on Max 2.
Oh, sorry.
Or no, we're on Max 1. No,
there we go.
We're good.
Okay.
We're on Max 1. Let me show you kind of the bigger picture here. So the center of Debbie is trying to make its way off the coast right now, but we're still in the northeast quadrant, which is why we're still dealing with this tornado threat. So we've been, since yesterday evening, watching these rain bands moving onshore. And again, these are the rain bands that are going to have the possibility of producing tornadoes. And again, these are not going to be tornadoes like you get out in the plains. These are quick. These are generally weak tornadoes. They're kind of, brief spin ups, but still they're going to cause damage. So we know there were a lot of tornado warnings issued last night into the overnight period. And we have seen damage from those. None of those have been confirmed from the National Weather Service right now. We are very much still in this event. So they're still working on issuing warnings like what they're doing right now. But again, we do know that these have created damage. So as we zoom in, again, that's exactly what we're seeing is with that outer rain band. Again, they're looking at radar and they're saying, okay, this is possibly producing a tornado, so then they issue a tornado warning. And there was a tornado warning up around the Grand Strand too, but it looks like they canceled that. But ours goes until, and it looks like, I'm gonna take the radar off. It looks like, no, it's still the same area. Oh, there you go. There we can see that other one. So that's into Brunswick County, actually. So that goes until 9:30. So, Kirsten, what we're seeing is as that storm's trying to get closer to the coast, that northeast quadrant is starting to shift further north. So while we do have a tornado watch for the Tri-County area, that tornado threat certainly more off toward the north because that's where we're seeing some of those rain bands shifting onshore.
Right, and I pulled up velocity on my end again, definitely very close to the Dunbar area. So let's see.
And just what is that, Plantersville?
So that's going to be just off to the north there, and then Andrews is going to be just off to the south. So really, you need even Andrews and Plantersville. I would highly recommend being in that safe spot. But also watching something right here, Sonia, off into the Kings Tree area, maybe.
That's so interesting too. Yeah,
but something worth watching.
I'm going to check in the chat, see if they've got any updates for us here.
Yeah, and
I'm not seeing any updates.
Since we're on Max 2, while you do that, I can take off this this velocity, and I can zoom into a few more roads really fast.
I was going to do. You got it. Okay.
Yep.
If you got it, I will let you zoom in on the roads. We'll go back to the. If we can go back. Oh, there you go. You got it right there. Okay.
Yep. So this is going to be in the Choppy area, Dunbar area. So Indian Hut Road, Benton Williams Road, Rose Hill Road, Dunbar Road, of course, Rocky Point Drive. I would definitely be headed to that interior room. And then it looks like radar just updated. Cowhead Landing Trail, Hesterville Road. I don't know if I just said that or not. Old County Line Road, I would also start prepping. But also, in this tornado warning is also REMS, and I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that correctly. So it's still a little bit away from you, but this storm is moving very quickly, so I would definitely start taking shelter now. Hemingway Lane, Edgewater Drive, REMS Road. So just a couple of streets there to let you know.
Yeah, and Pleasant Hill, I was looking at velocity again. It looks like, definitely if you're listening to us from Pleasant Hill, definitely starting to see. So what we're looking at is, the greens and the reds close to each other. So really starting to see some of that darker red versus the green. But again, that's the deal with how these tornado warnings work. When we've got a tropical system, they move in very quick. They move out very quickly as well. And we said this was moving off toward the northwest at 35 miles per hour. So, I know folks, a lot more folks are home today than usual. But if you're just tuning in, want to make sure you know what's going on. We've got a tornado warning in effect for parts of Georgetown and Williamsburg counties until 9:45. So for another 15 minutes. And we're going to continue to track this storm until they either cancel the warning or they extend it. But we're going to stay with you here on the air. All right. I want to turn off radar because I want to show people, maybe Kirsten, they're just tuning in. So here's where we have the warning. So you can see that red box, right? So central Georgetown County up to the Pleasant Hill area. I would say that at this point, that rotation much closer to Pleasant Hill, that I would think people in Georgetown probably in the clear right now. We're not seeing any rotation down that way. Again, that's kind of where it pushed on shore, but as it continues to move off toward the north and west, I would feel like, it's more around, like you said, the choppy area. So I would say if you're watching us around Highway 17, Highway 701, again, you're in the clear right now. And again, these are moving through very quickly.
Yeah, this is already approaching Neesmith. And even, of course, like I said earlier, choppy. Union Crossroads, Morrisville, and Pleasant Hill, I would get into an interior room as well. This is getting very close to you. Looking at that velocity right there.
Yeah, and it's starting to, it's going to start to make its way into the portion of Williamsburg County that's under the gun right now. So again, folks in Kingstree, you're not under this. Trio, you're not in this. This storm is going to stay off toward the south and west of Conway. But again, really, don't you think, Kirsten, at this point, I would think the Pleasant Hill community, just south of them, is where we're seeing that rotation right now. So I don't know if you want to maybe zoom in. Let's give folks some street names.
Let's look over here. Let's start off near Choppy and Rose Hill. Let's start in the Rems area because that one was included, as I'd mentioned. So let's see. We got, of course, like I mentioned earlier, we've got Rems Road. We've got Cowhead Landing Trail. We've got, I think that says Dr. Harper Road. If I zoom in too much, it won't let me see it, but you can see that right there. We move a little bit further to the west. Let's head closer to Union Crossroads, Neesmith, right? Let's see, the Rome area, County Line Road, Cook, Neesmith. Is that Helston Road, I believe? Coopertown Road, Neesmith Road.
If any of these roads sound familiar, then you need to be in your safe place.
Yeah.
Because
this is not at you yet. This is not towards
right, but now's the time to get in your safe place. Not checking out the window, not trying to see what's going on. Again, if you recognize any of those street names. So Kirsten, I've got a different perspective pulled up here on velocity, and so you can actually see it as it moved on shore. So that's about the last hour loop, but you can see there it goes on shore right there. There it was Georgetown around 9:15. And there you can see it now. So it's starting to head kind of toward the Neesmith area right now.
Yep,
so
definitely
between Pleasant Hill, Neesmith, Union Crossroads, I'd say it's almost north of Choppy, almost at this point, kind of right on the edge there. Allentown, Rose Hill, Rome, Snowtown, probably going to stay kind of mainly. Let's actually see. They might be. Did the warning?
Right, they just canceled it.
All right. Hey, all great news. All right, let's do a quick recap. Quick recap. So again, we're continuing to watch these rain bands move onshore. So we've got that tornado threat that will continue until 5 p.m. So in the meantime, we'll let you go, and we have a special hour newscast coming up at 10 a.m. So until then, unless there's another tornado warning, we will let you go back to regular programming, and we will see you here in
just a reminder,
25
and
minutes.
I might have missed this part. There is that tornado watch in effect until 5. You did mention that.
Until 5 p.m.
That's my bad.
Yep, no, that's okay. Better to
Just a
over-communicate in a
reminder.
situation like this. So again, download our weather app. That's going to let you know of any warnings that are issued. And then, when those warnings go off, then you can tune in to ABC News 4 if it's tornado warning, and we will keep you updated. In the meantime, we're going to take a little break, and we'll see you back here at 10 a.m. Stay safe.